Welcome to an incredible journey into the world of rare coins, a world where history, art, and value come together in the palm of your hand. Today we are going to uncover the fascinating story of the Liberty 1-cent coin from the year 2003 of the United States of America, a coin that millions of people handled every single day, a coin that was passed around in stores, gas stations, schools, and homes. Yet one that in its rarest forms has astonished collectors with a market value that can reach as high as $6,400,000, which is $0.64 million. This is the story of how a small coin worth just 1 cent on its face has transformed into a treasure worth more than luxury cars, mansions, or even pieces of fine art. Let us begin by remembering what this coin represents. The 2003 1 cent is part of the Lincoln Cent series, one of the longest-running coin series in the entire history of the United States Mint. The obverse features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, who is celebrated for guiding the nation through the Civil War and for his enduring vision of liberty, equality, and unity. Lincoln has been on the cent since 1909, when his image was first placed on the coin to mark the 100th anniversary of his birth. It was a bold decision at the time because no real person had ever appeared on a circulating U.S. coin before, but Lincoln was chosen as a figure who embodied the heart of the American spirit. On the reverse of the 2003 Lincoln Cent you see the Lincoln Memorial, the grand monument in Washington, D.C., dedicated to the very same man who appears on the obverse. If you look closely at the reverse with magnification, you can actually see the tiny statue of Abraham Lincoln seated inside the memorial, making this coin one of the rare instances in world numismatics where the same person appears on both sides of the same coin. The symbolism of liberty, democracy, and national memory all reside in this design. The 2003 cent was struck in very large numbers, as billions were produced by the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Most people think of it as common, and indeed the vast majority of 2003 cents are worth only face value. But among these billions, a select few coins stand out due to extraordinary circumstances, whether it be perfect preservation, unusual minting errors, or varieties that escaped unnoticed into circulation. These are the coins that transform from pocket change into priceless collectibles, the ones that collectors compete for at auctions, driving prices higher and higher until astonishing figures are reached. To understand why a 2003 Lincoln Cent could ever be worth $0.64 million, we must dive into the details of coin grading, rarity, and error collecting. Professional grading services use the 70-point Sheldon scale to evaluate the condition of coins. Most 2003 cents that were spent in everyday commerce fall into lower grades because of scratches, wear, and loss of original luster. However, a coin that has been preserved untouched since the day it left the mint, with full blazing red copper luster, no spots, no scratches, and a sharp strike, might achieve the lofty grades of mint state 67 or 68. Coins at these levels are extremely rare, and the higher the grade, the fewer the survivors. A population of just a few coins at a given grade can make demand skyrocket, with wealthy collectors bidding aggressively to secure the finest known examples. Then there are the mint errors. The minting process is a complex mechanical ballet, and sometimes things go wrong in spectacular ways. Double die errors, where the design elements such as the date Liberty or In God We Trust appear doubled, are among the most famous and sought after. Off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the coin was not centered correctly under the die, create dramatic visuals that collectors love. Strikes on the wrong planchet, where a Lincoln Cent design appears on a dime planchet or foreign coin blank, are exceedingly rare and bring extraordinary prices. Even small quirks like repunched mint marks or die cracks can add collectible value. In the case of the 2003 cent, known examples with dramatic doubling, flawless red luster, or other spectacular errors have caught the attention of the numismatic community. Auction records show that when two or more determined collectors face off for the rarest coin in the best possible condition, the sky is the limit for price. This is how we arrive at valuations like $0.64 million, not for ordinary examples but for those truly exceptional once-in-a-lifetime coins that combine rarity, condition, and demand in perfect harmony. But beyond the sheer market value, this coin also carries with it a story of history. The year 2003 was a moment of change in the United States. The nation was facing challenges both at home and abroad, with cultural, political, and economic shifts shaping the lives of millions. Coins from this year are silent witnesses to all of these events. They passed through the hands of families, children, workers, and dreamers, quietly connecting each person to the story of America. Holding a 2003 Lincoln cent is holding a piece of that year, a link to the lives lived and the history experienced. Imagine for a moment that you are searching through a jar of coins at home, or perhaps you are hunting through rolls of pennies from the bank. Suddenly you spot a 2003 cent that looks different. The luster is brighter, the details sharper, the surface is cleaner. You take a closer look and notice doubling in the date or a misaligned strike. What you thought was just another penny could actually be a treasure, a coin worth thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even millions. This is the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of discovery that keeps people searching through change year after year. The Lincoln cent has always been a coin of inspiration. From its first year in 1909 to the modern examples like the 2003 cent, it has connected generations of Americans to their history and to each other. Collectors treasure it not just for its value but for its meaning. The face of Abraham Lincoln reminds us of the sacrifices made for liberty and unity, while the reverse reminds us of the monuments we build to remember those sacrifices. Even when it is just a penny, it is a symbol. So when we talk about the 2003 Liberty 1 cent coin being worth $0.64 million, it is not just about the number. It is about the idea that something so ordinary can become extraordinary, that history can hide in plain sight, and that the smallest of coins can carry the biggest of dreams. If you have a 2003 cent in your possession, take the time to look at it carefully. Examine it under good light, study its surfaces, check for errors, and consider its condition. It may be common, but it may also be rare beyond imagination. Many collectors today are still searching, still hoping, and still discovering. And that is why the story of the 2003 Lincoln cent continues to grow, a story of value, history, and hidden fortune waiting to be revealed. This is the wonder of numismatics. It is a reminder that treasures do not only exist in faraway lands or locked vaults. Sometimes they sit quietly in your pocket, waiting for the right person to see them for what they truly are. The 2003 Liberty 1 cent is one of those treasures, a coin that proves the extraordinary can live inside the ordinary.